welcome back, guys. So I'm going to, you know what, let me just select this guy and just add some smooth in there, some subdivision in there rather. It feels a bit too thin. Select this guy and then push some of this back in like so. I'm working out of symmetry mode now just to make this feel more organic and realistic. So it doesn't feel too symmetrical. I think I hit the wrong button for this. Okay. I'll need to make this a bit thicker. So let me just isolate this. Okay, maybe I actually can leave this the way it is. Let me leave this the way it is instead. Select this guy. Let me push this back in. Okay. I'm just making some proportional corrections to this, minor corrections before moving on. So I like to extend this out. So let me just isolate this. Probably we can't seem to find. It's supposed to be like a kind of edge loop around this. Okay. Let me just delete the higher level for this. Then BZM. Let me turn off. Okay. Let me add something around here. It should apply to both sides. Let me turn on hit X on the keyboard and apply this to both sides. Yeah, better. I might need to do this here also. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. What I actually want to do is to, not here, under poly group, group by normal. Now select, let's see, let me select, okay, let me select this at the top, invert the selection, marks this. Okay, and I will just raise this up like so. Then I think this should be fine. Then we can add the smooth in here. So adding the smooth in here, let's see what that gives us. Still keeping in mind our reference. Now this part is coming out way too much. remove brush and just move this in place. Select this. Just try and get this to feel more rounded. I have symmetry turned on both. Yes, symmetry is turned on both. That's fine. I'm just kind of averaging on the thickness. Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, I think I can actually live with this. So I leave that the way it is now. Then I'll select this guy now. Let's create the clothing. Let's create this extra cloth sheet on top of this. So let's see what we have in our sub tool. Let me use this same existing one. I'll just duplicate this. I'll duplicate this boots. Then for this one, I'm going to let's see. I'll delete higher. Okay, there's some layers in there. Let's kind of bake all those layers. So bake all. Turn this off. Delete higher, delete lower. Then we can kind of use this to kind of crop out the clothing on this. So this is actually our duplicate. Let me isolate this. Okay. We can do something like we can kind of max out where we want. So let me use the I can either use the remove lasso max to or the pen max. No. So with symmetry turned on, something like so. Okay, on this side, you can always modify this later on, but let's just get this. Let's just get what we want out of this first. Okay. Then obviously we need these parts, so we can just bring this into the mix. All right. Then let's see. Let's make some more corrections to this. No, let's make some more corrections to this. Let me do this from the top view instead by eliminating some of this. Okay. Let me eliminate that and mark this in. Alright. This should be fair enough for what we need it for. Let me kind of make this a bit more defined by using the pen lasso. No, I need to erase some of this. Okay, this should be fine. Maybe even erase with the pen. I'm just going to erase something like so, all the way to the back like so. Erase something like this also. Okay, then shift F, I want to isolate just this frontal part, just this frontal poly group. Yeah, this back side thing is, need to mask this properly. Okay, that seems fine. Maybe erase some of this. Okay, yeah, this seems fine. Then I would first of all, let's start by doing a delete hidden for this. Delete hidden, and Shift F, so Control W to give this a separate poly group. Something like this should work just fine. Then I would Control click on this, Control click on it. That's fine. Then we can do another delete hidden on this. Okay. If you bring back the initial boots, we have something like this now. But let's just work on this isolated first. Let's kind of get this to look good enough first before moving on. So under the formations, I'm going to polish by group, just to tighten up those jagged edges. This seems good enough. Okay. All right. I probably even need to just one of this. I will need to delete the other one. So let me do a auto group, and I'll do a delete hidden for this. Okay. I believe it's safe now to, let's see. Maybe I can, let me just check all of this. Yes. Let me go out of symmetry and center this properly. Maybe even push this inwards a bit more, so that when I do an extrude, I'm just going to extrude outward instead. Okay, that's fine. Then I can, let me just isolate this now. I'll do duplicate of this just to be on the safe side. Let me just duplicate this, hide this, and I can do a zero mesh for this. So under geometry, zero mesh, under zero mesh, I'm just going to turn this off. Let's start with 5k. Okay, adaptive size is fine. What does this do? With the adapt button activated, Zbrush Marshal will give you the best adaptive size setting higher priority than the target poly count because of the adaptive density mode, which is enabled by default. When it's mode is disabled, Zbrush Marshal will adjust its topology calculations to give equal weights to target. Let's try that out. Let's try this out. Okay, then I will do. No need to keep. Let me just do a zero match like this. The way it is. So I'll hold Alt and then I'll click on zero match and let's see what that gives us. We tend to have equal sizing around this. Let's keep going. So half of this, another half of this, another half of this. Probably another half of this. How many polygon? Okay, 200 and something. This seems close enough. Let's do the same. Let's use same. Okay, let's do same again. Yes, much better. Something like this is fine. I was trying to eliminate those deformation, those weird topology we had around here. So this should work just fine. We just minor tweaks, we can get this to work just fine. And for the most part, most of the topology sizing are more or less, almost like more or less the same, which is fine. Okay. Let me use transparency for this. Okay. I think I'll need to adjust this. With the move to, I'll just push this down some more. Maybe I should even push this out instead. Okay. Some of this should stay in. Let me see if the height of this is fine. The height of this. Okay, let me just make this rise above a bit more. So I'll just max out this part, invert the max, and I'll just elongate this like so. Okay. Turn off transparency and just push this out like so. So it just sits on the surface. So it kind of sits on the surface. Okay. So now we can do like, let me mark the max. So BZM, we can do an let's do an extrude for this. Extrude all polygons. Let's see what we have. This feels about right. So if we should, let me just do Ctrl D on this. Yeah, this feels just about right. If it doesn't, then we can always fix that. But let's just isolate this first. Shift F, and let's add some loops around this. Okay. Probably wait. I need to Okay, I know issue, no problem actually, no problem. I think let me just add a loop around, so around here. These two should be fine. Let's see. So let's do a dynamic sub D. This should have been fine, but the thickness feels way too thick. Maybe if I add just one in there. Okay, I think we just one in there. That gives us more or less like a close enough thickness that we'll need. Yeah, that seems fine. Then I can do a mirror and word. And let me see. Okay, I think it's actually safe now to go out of symmetry and adjust them as individual piece. Yeah, this one should be in what now? That looks fine. Maybe I should even do this y is being subdivided by one step. Now just adjust some of this. We just need to have this base to look good. Then the next lesson we can add some wrinkle detail on it. So let me just get this base in the right place. Probably guessing I might just push this in a bit more. But not too much though. Just feels like this feels too thick. Thickness feels a bit much. I don't know if I should keep this or make some adjustment to it. Uh but it's no biggie actually. There's no issue about there's no serious issue. Okay, let me just divide this some more and see what that gives us. It feels just about right with more subdivision level in there. Yeah, it's just right. It feels right. More subdivision level. So maybe I can do some pushing out and pulling in on this subdivision level instead. I want this to rest on the surface a bit more. Oh, symmetry is turned on. Yeah, no worries. Eesh, no worries. No worries. Oh, let me turn off symmetry now. Because I want to kind of follow the deformation in there. Once we push this in place properly, then detailing will just be the next thing. But at least we have a good base to work with. We have a good base to work with. Now we can kind of safely add some detailing in there if we want to. But let's see. I think for the most part this is accurately in place. Maybe push some of this closer. So we have like, which foot is this? Okay. So I'm kind of guessing how many. I'm kind of want to figure out how many holes should be in here. So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'll just kind of let me just turn on symmetry for this. I'm not really doing anything that will kind of affect the deformation. I'm just kind of trying to max out where those holes should be, just as a guide. It's more or less like a guide. It's not really clear enough, but no worries. We just need to have something that feels more like a guide in there. How many of these do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, since mine are way too small. 7, 8, 9. Okay, it's not completely accurate though, but I think this should be fine. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to kind of, let's see what we have in here. I want to kind of push this inwards. So with the move brush, basically trying to indicate where those, let me just push this in like so, something like so. The spacing in here is not completely correct though. I'm just trying to block out where the rope should be. This particular one should even go back a bit more. Something like this. Okay. Obviously they need to come out like this also, but I think let me just use this as a guide for the other parts too. More or less I'm just blocking out where the stuff should be, then later on to be a good guide to kind of do this properly later on. Then this one should be a bit backward. Yeah, something like this. Okay. Okay. So now this is like a good base for us to work with. Then next one we're going to do is just to put placeholders in there with the IMM brushes. We just do a placeholder in there and then refine that later on properly. After I then do some wrinkle and fold details on it.